as they should. All right, well, yes, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us today for the Halloween edition of the Comedy Circus here at City Market. Yeah, it's your day. Good to hear. Yes, the Halloween edition. So, part of me wants to imagine that each of you are wanting to hear some scary stories, maybe some terrifying tales. All right, let's see, if I had to, I'm not great at gauging or guessing a crowd. Are you guys into ghosts and goblins?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, got one for that. Or you vampire crowd? No? I have no idea. All right, that's cool. Okay, I take it. You're a zombie audience, aren't you? Yeah. See, that's great and all. I can't stand zombies anymore, honestly. I used to. Love zombies. I was that odd man out in high school where, I'd walk around with this, and everyone thought that I was just obsessed with death. To their behalf, I was in a cure phase at the time, rocking some disintegration, so I could see where they're coming from. But no, I certainly love the aspect of zombies where it's a social commentary, right, on our consumerism. And of course, we'd be the downfall of our own existence, right? What I don't get is that this being 2015, how come we haven't heard a story in the media of some guy from Florida shoots a guy, right? And then when he's having his trial hearing, he claims the zombie defense. It's like, you gotta believe me, Your Honor, I thought he was a zombie. So I shot him in the head. And he's dead now, and you're welcome. 5 to 10 right there. Which, that was gonna be my segue. Originally when I heard that we were gonna be doing this outside, this is the point of the show where I direct everyone's attention to the city-county building that'd be across the street. And, I'll let you know that the City County building, of course, has the Mayor's Action Center, and it's littered completely with lawyers' offices and the judges' chambers. I know this because I'm there every Tuesday making deliveries. I actually had the opportunity, a brief moment in time, I could have made a name for myself, infamously, of course. Greg Mayor Ballard walked in front of my truck, and I had the inclination to gun it. So, this is when I turned to the city-county building and said, "You're welcome, Mayor's Action Center." Because if I'd done it, I'd be, within those walls. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, I convinced myself, he's not Mike Pence. I'll just let him go. He's not too much of a threat. But, man, over there at the city-county building, it's scary over there, okay? It really is. You get to see so many individuals wearing orange jumpsuits. That's terrifying to share an elevator with. The whole time, there's nothing like seeing the whole wave of the human emotion spectrum being carried out by an individual chained up. Orange, you got the Crocs too. They rock Crocs over there. You know that? Well, now you do. Okay. So yeah, they're yelling. They're very primal with their yelling. I didn't do it. You got the wrong guy. Some of them are just broken down in tears. So obviously they did it. But none of them have ever met eyes with me because I'm cowering in the corner, just hoping that they just get lost in their problems so much that they don't even care about the guy with the vending machine stuff. And I know they hate me, that's the thing, because I'm sitting there, they see that I'm busy doing God knows what, but I have my freedom, and they can't say the same about themselves.
This is why I was hoping to have the speaker planted over that way.
So they have their freedom, and I have my freedom. They can't say the same thing about themselves. On top of that, they can see that obviously I'm working, so I'm on the clock the whole time that they're in fear of their livelihood. We're never going to see them again. It's scary stuff over there. See, I'm basing everything on a real-world scare tactics here. Ghosts and goblins, whatever. Whatever the afterlife or purgatory or reincarnation, whatever. We'll deal with that later, and then we'll just get used to it. For now, we've got incarceration going against us, and which leads me into my second scary story. So, we're all old enough now. We've experienced enough out of life to where we've got that one that's gotten away. Unless you're married, then the one didn't get away. But usually, okay, with the one that's gotten away, you sit with nothing but time, you pine over what you could have done, what you need to do, and this and that. He lives rent-free up here, right? And you hope and pray that one day you'll have another chance just to speak your side of the story, smooth things over, whatever. And then, have you ever actually received a phone call from the one that got away? Yeah? I did, and I squandered that opportunity. Within the 4 rings, all of a sudden, I start darting between, oh man, maybe she wised up and she's trying to get a hold of me, to, I guess she died and someone's going through her phone, giving everyone an update. But with that being thought of, I still tried to play it cool. I didn't answer saying hello, she's better than that. I answered by saying, oh my God, it's so great to hear from you, how you been? And then immediately she went straight to business saying, hey, so it turns out I have chlamydia and you better get checked. Scary story, folks, scary story. And my immediate reaction to that was, I haven't seen you in 2 years. But she had already hung up by then, and I was just talking to myself. That's all she did. Yeah, she did what she was obliged to do. That's enough, I guess. She owed me a little more. If I ever get a tumor, I'm gonna name it after her. So, 6 months and 2 tests later, I'm clean. Just want to throw that out to the universe. Thanks. But yeah, that is what is truly scary about the world. I don't care about what you think about vampires. Well, actually, now I do hear that everyone's in general disdain with vampires. But real life is scary, man. We don't need Halloween. We just need to get through the day. Which reminds me of, I think I nailed it with the universe. I'm pretty sure I know what suicidal people hate the most. And I got a feeling that it's the 7-day extended forecast. For the weather. It's like, all right, it's gonna be high as 65 and partly cloudy on Sunday. I'm not even sure I'm gonna make it through Thursday, Tom. Let's go back to sports. Speaking of sports, I don't do too many impressions too often, but I'm going to try to nail this one as best I can. Anyone a football fan during the 1990s? Yeah, so we remember Troy Aikman. This is my impersonation of Troy Aikman, everyone. All-star quarterback from the 1990s.
Will somebody answer that damn phone?
He had a lot of concussions, folks. Just like I did. I used to play football until I had one too many and they told me I had to quit. So I'd like to always credit concussions for, turning me into who I am today. It's great. I don't have too much time left, but I just want to end it with a couple one-liners. I want to practice out. How do blind people know when to look for Braille? Their hands must be filthy. Because 50 Cent said it best. Get rich or die trying. But if you have to file for bankruptcy, that's baller too. Thank you, everyone. My name is Jordan Allen, and that is my time. I appreciate it. Thanks again. Thank you again. Following me right now is the great and powerful Brent Lee Smith, everyone. Brent Lee Smith.
Now it's real short. Thank you. All right, we'll see if you guys get this costume. I don't like everybody else so far.
I know it.
Yeah, I told you already.
I know it.
Yeah, I told you too yesterday. All right, if you can't read it, it says good time. What is that? Yes, finally. All right. You win the prize of a clap. Not the clap that he didn't get. Okay. All right. So, probably notice we get up here, the dark glasses and the hat inside at night like a pimp. Good for you to notice it. And if you're wondering about it, just don't worry about it. It's my business. It's not part of the costume. I'm just rocking it looking good, so just relax and enjoy it. Matter of fact, I'll give you a second to take it in while I take another drink here, so. hold on a second. You're welcome. Nah, the reason I'm wearing is I got some bad peepers. My eyes are messed up. Got some light sensitivity and also some blind spots where I can't see, so I gotta look around things and catch them peripherally. So, ladies, if you think I'm staring at your boobs, you're right. But I'm also just trying to see your lovely smile. Oh. And fellas, if you think I'm looking at your junk, you're wrong. You have to open your legs before, man. I don't even like looking at my own. So I'm trying to find a nice lady to help me make mine disappear every now and then. So I'm a single fella. There's only one of me. Apparently that's enough. Trying to find somebody, not going too well. Do an online thing, which trying not to do the online thing anymore. So if y'all know somebody, help me out. I'm sick of this shit. Yeah. I don't know, I'm even sick of like making jokes about it because it just makes me feel sad. But I'll do a couple anyway. Some of the annoying stuff about online, I get the girls' whole profiles, a couple of pictures, and just ask. Just ask you to fill out your damn profile. It's not that hard. Like, oh, I'm so pretty. You knew I wanted to come and talk to me. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. You're not pretty enough to get away with it. Told that before, and the girl's like, oh, that's kind of offensive. I'm like, yeah, that's offensive to me. I actually put some effort into my profile. And these other bitches don't. And most of them are not that cute. And that's all I have to work with. I had something else to go with that, but I'm too upset to remember it. And then you got the girls, every picture's a group shot. You gotta play Where's Waldo to find out which one she is. And sometimes you do all that work and find out she's Waldo. It's like, man, should have known. Striped shirt, a hat, glasses, and cane. Screen name was Waldo69. Come on, man. It's still horrible, but when all this Cosby stuff came out, I wasn't all that surprised. Because whenever I see him on TV, I always got a little bit sleepy myself. Happen to anybody else? This is me. I don't know, maybe put some in the pudding pops too. And so I was talking with some friends a little while ago, and someone was like, I don't want to get in politics because if you become president, doesn't matter what you do, the next president will pardon you. And I was like, well, what if he decided to decapitate the Speaker of the House at the State of the Union address? And they're like, well, how are you going to get a weapon in the State of the Union address? And I'm like, we're the goddamn president, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, who's going to stop you? Like, when they're frisking people to get into the State of the Union address, that's so that they don't do something to you. And if they really want to know, you can say, hey, I'm showing my support for the Second Amendment. The right to bear arms isn't exclusive to guns. So you go and walk around with your sword, then people will really be paying attention. Like when they're clapping, after you say stuff, they might actually be paying attention to what you're saying. And then you go and finally you be like, now it's time to get this house in order. Turn around, like let's say it's now, and you're just ready for Maynard to go, even though he's already resigned. It's like, yeah, you're too orange. And then you don't like who's lined up, who's running to replace him. Just go ahead and get them to just whittle the field down. The Supreme Court's a mess. A bunch of them are old and retarded. It's okay. My brother's a little impaired. I can say that word. So go ahead and get rid of some of them too, and you can vote in who you want next or nominate them. Just go ahead and have at it. And then, you know, Biden, he'll let you get away with it. Do a pardon. That's my president assassin joke. It's new. I'm still working on it. Yeah. All right. This next joke is kind of too long, but I like it, so I'm going to say it anyway, because it's fun and true and cathartic. But before I do, I'm going to take another drink. All right. Geese are fucking evil. I've been in a blood feud with geese for almost 35 years. When I was 2, my parents took me to the zoo, had a good time, but while we were there, almost from the get-go, this gaggle of geese were following us. And even though I was 2, I was pretty smart. I was like, this isn't right. They're all supposed to be put up. You know, why are they following us around? And I'm like, all right, well, you know, whatever. We're doing our thing. And just before we were about to leave, like some nature gangsters, they started running up and trying to attack us. So then we started running, but my parents forgot about me for a second. And so one of them got close enough and bit me in the ass. That shit hurt. So I started crying. Because you know when they call it goose deal, like when you get pinched? Well, that's why, because it's a similar deal, but it's much worse when it's coming from a goose. I know this from experience. So I'm crying because it hurts. I'm also crying because I just got violated by a goose at the zoo. And then finally, you know, my dad slows down and picks me up and he starts laughing at me. So then I'm crying even more because I'm mad at him for making fun of me because, you know, he couldn't have waited 2 seconds to pick me up like a good parent. So now, anytime I see a goose, I just want to run up and kick it in the face, but I don't because I'm a good person. But I really, really, really want to. But I sure as hell will finish some shit if it starts it. So I just wanted to come up to me, like, come at me, bro, come on, just do it. I got the game plan all mapped out. I watched the UFC and all that, so you know I know how that works. I'll kick it in the face, I'll circle around, get it by its back, and just slam it to death, and I will beat the dead goose to death. You know, they talk about the pink slime that make chicken McNuggets out of and all that. Well, that's what's going to be left of it by the time I'm done. And then I'll give it to like a homeless man or something, so you know, it won't go completely to waste. You can use it as a pillow or food or whatever, I don't give a shit. But you know, I won't let it go to waste. Like the other day, there's a goose in Michigan Street, and cars are going around it, whatever. And I'm like, oh, you said with goose. Nah, fuck that goose. I was rooting for the cars. Just run it over. I don't know if that goose had mental health issues or what, but it deserved it being run over because it's a goose. And I was like, get it, get it, get it. Like I don't even trust the Mother Goose nursery rhymes. You know, the bad black sheep have you any wool? What else is in these bags of wool? The plague? There's something else going on. You know, and Little Miss Buffett standing on Tuffet. Have any of you ever heard the word Tuffet in any other context? Like this has got to be something else, like the activation word in the Manchurian candidate. Sometime soon we're going to have like preschoolers running around killing people. I don't know. It's going to happen sometime though, and I'm going to be prepared. Now, Dad and I, we've never been close. Not too long after the zoo thing, my parents split up. He's never really around, didn't pay child support, alcoholic and all that. Like, oh, those are all good reasons why you're not close. But no, that's not it. It's because he sided with the fucking goose and laughed at me when it bit me. All right, that's it for me. Coming up next, got a really funny guy. He's sitting right here up front. I just turned off, no, I didn't. Give it up here for Casey Burkhardt.
Give it up for Brent, ladies and gentlemen. Do I sound loud? I have a tendency to be loud. I'm good? All right, cool. Give it up for these comics, huh? I mean, here's the thing, is you got some great comics in a let's say it liberally, a quaint setting, right? It's a very quaint setting. Who knows? Like one day, one of these comics may make it big, right? And then you could see them in your city's local Moose Lodge. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. Because it's such a quaint setting, I don't know what I'm going to do up here. I do want to tell you guys this. My son's 4 years old, right? He threw me under the bus the other day. Like, we're going to go play laser tag, right? I'm like, hey, Calvin, you want to play laser tag? And he's like, yeah! I was like, cool. Let's go visit your mom and surprise her for lunch. She's a teacher, right? So we go to surprise her for lunch. She's got this teacher that kind of gets into your business a little bit. At some point in my life, I had said something about this teacher in front of my 4-year-old, right? So we go to eat, and she's there, of course. Not 2 minutes go by. This kid, this 4-year-old kid, looks at this adult woman and says to her, Miss Kim, my dad said a lot of mean things about you, but I'm not going to tell you what they are because they're going to hurt your feelings. I was devastated. My wife said that you never get red in the face. I was beat red. I couldn't say anything, but I never wanted to kick a kid so hard in my life under the table. Like he was like a parrot, you know? He's just like, my dad doesn't like you. You know, like kids say the darndest things. My ass. That kid was a punk ass bitch that day. I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys see this. I don't know if you guys see this. You guys see that? You see that? I've been balding for the last few years. My hair's been receding like a California riverbed. It's been that bad. And it's crazy because it's a wild time to have something and then watch it slowly being taken away from you. You know? Now I know how the Native Americans feel. They have their trail of tears. I have my trail of hairs. You know? And because of that, I haven't been to the barber in years. I'm not paying full price for half the work. That's bullshit. Are there any stylists or barbers in the house? Yeah, because this is what I've heard. I've heard that it's harder to cut a bald man's hair than a normal head of hair like this. But honestly, that's got to be complete bullshit. No matter what you do to my hair, I'm gonna walk out of that door bald as shit. You know, like, just bald. I feel like stylists should like charge by the Circus area or something like that. You know, I don't understand it. Maybe I'd go back to a barber if me and another bald friend went together and finally got a full haircut. You know, that type of deal. And it's funny too because people are always curious when I lost my hair. They're like, "Oh my God, when'd you lose your hair? How'd you lose your hair?" Like there was a moment in time where it just fell out. I'm like, yes. Well, it was August 4th, 2004. A terrible storm rolled in from the Atlantic. The news warned us not to go outside without a hat, but did I listen? I lost a third of my hair that day. Just like that, I became part of every bird nest in town. To this day, I still can't have the windows down in my car without having a Vietnam-like flashbang. Charlie took my hair that day. Tropical storm, Charlie! Which is funny because that's actually the storm. It was cool. I also like when a lot of people treat my baldness like I just got divorced. You know, they're always like, "Did you hear about Casey?" No, what happened? Well, apparently his hair left him overnight. How's he dealing with it? Not well. He's getting ugly. No, it's getting ugly. No, he's getting ugly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. And I can't believe that. Oh my God. And do you know he didn't get a pre-hair nub? What was he thinking? I don't know. Now his hair is going after everything he owns. His hair is going after his looks. his self-esteem. It even took his hairband albums. What? It's true. He can never listen to Whitesnake ever again. It's court-ordered. I'm balding, that sucks. Have you guys noticed we're dumbing down the world, right? Have you noticed this? Dumbing down. I mean, there's a million ways that we're dumbing down the world. The one I noticed is, did you know they're no longer teaching cursive in school? Did you see this? They're not teaching it. 40 years from now, we're not going to have a legal document in the world. No one's going to know how to sign their name, you know? They're just going to take, like, historical documents and then, like, trace over them. They're like, John Hancock. Oh, that's where the saying came from, you know? I mean, people are going to be clueless. Someone's going to be in front of a judge, you know? The judge is going to look at them. Is this your signature? Yes, it is, Your Honor. Okay. It appears to be nothing more than a drawing of some flowers. That is correct, sir. But in my defense, that's the only thing I know how to draw. Well, that and butterflies, but that's my buddy's signature. Kids are gonna be clueless. They're like, what do I put for my signature? Just put NA. What? NA, not applicable. But it'll help curb our prescription drug epidemic. You know what I mean? It's like someone's gonna go up to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist is gonna look at it and be like, okay, here's your value. Just go ahead and need your signature. Yeah. Okay. I'm Casey. No, that's well and fine, sir. That's well and fine. We just need your signature. I'm Casey. No, I understand that. Just need your John Hancock. Do you have the Constitution on hand? Because we're tracing that shit, you know what I mean? Hi-yo! I'm happily married, which is awesome, 11 years. But I have in-laws, you know what I mean? I have in-laws, thank you, Mom. But I have in-laws, right? Which by law should be dead right now. Am I right? Am I right? No, that's not true. I actually love them a lot. At least that's what my wife keeps telling me. But it's crazy, you know what I mean? I have in-laws. But here's the thing. If I divorce my wife, do they now become outlaws? Because they're too old to start a crime spree, to be honest with you. I mean, it would start off innocent enough, you know what I mean? They'd probably, like, walk out of their Cracker Barrel bill, you know, swiping checkerboards and hard candies as they exit the building. Maybe systematically stopping at a rest stop and commandeering all travel brochures. Honey, start the car! It's like, oh my God, hey! Now, what cave am I gonna visit, you know? Like, but then things would start to get real, you know? Like, they're gonna waltz into a doctor's office and give them false insurance information. What? You ain't never gonna find us? We ain't got no home address. We be traveling the states in our RV. But then things would get real, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they're having to resort to like holding up pharmacies, you know? Pharmacies for like toiletries and Bengay. Did you get the fix of that, honey? You know, like my mom's looking at me like, I don't understand this. It's funny. Shut up. I didn't mean that. I mean, it gets spanked, you know. You know, or like it starts to get real. So they're like holding up MCLs at gunpoint. You know what I mean? They're like, fill all these bags with sides and buys. I said, fill it up. Police are in hot pursuit, calling all cars. Be on the lookout for Earl and Pearl Richards. Prince, aka the Japan Twins. These AARP renegades are presumed armed and needing assistance. Stupid. I don't know there's a white woman left. That's it. It's been a good time. I'm glad to see you guys all in my living room. My name's Casey. Enjoy your night. Coming up. Will Power!
God, you guys are short. Give it up for Casey. Give it up for a really shitty Triple H costume. Yeah, I know. First of all, it's been a really bad 3 weeks for me. I've lost a couple friends recently, so what I'd like to do is start this with a toast. In life, we have but two things to worry about. Whether we're healthy or whether we're sick. If we're healthy, we have nothing to worry about. If we're sick, we have but two things to worry about. Whether we live or whether we die. If we live, we have nothing to worry about. If we die, we have but two things to worry about. Whether we go up or whether we go down. If we go up, we have nothing to worry about. And if we go down, we'll be so drunk with our friends, we'll have nothing to worry about. Oh, love it. God, this is short. They say money can't buy happiness, which is bullshit because they always ask for money when I go for weed. See, some of you other people have that problem too. Had a friend of mine, she has 3 kids and told me that she doesn't gamble. I said, no, you do gamble, you're just really shitty at it. I mean, I have 3 pieces of evidence right there that say you don't know the meaning of the words all in. Yeah, like I said, it's been a crappy week. One of my best friends died about 2.5 weeks ago. And I broke the news to the mailman because he comes around. Yeah, because it's actually my next door neighbor. So the next day he comes up to me and he's like, so how's the neighbor? And I just look him dead in the face. I'm like, still dead. Yeah, exactly. You know, all of us that do comedy know the sooner you start making fun of stuff, the sooner you can start healing. So yeah, I knew I was right on the right track with that one. It's Friday. How many of you, yeah, you're clapping because you don't have to go to work tomorrow. How many of us have to go to work tomorrow? Clap. That's right. I am 3 episodes of Dexter, 2 garbage bags, and 1 U-Haul truck away from rearranging my damn office, I'm telling you. Yeah. I've been the last review I got, banged it, got it pregnant, 9 months later had the kid, been breastfeeding it, and we're still waiting for the next report, the next review. Thank you. I'm not going to mention the actual name of the franchise that I work for, but the company goes by the letter CSO, which stands for Chasing Shiny Objects. I've been waiting 10 minutes for a review. Why don't I dip my balls in some glitter so I get some fucking attention from those people? Yeah, they've actually gone Tuesday. You want to come up here? Shut the fuck up, you heel jack lumberjack. Oh, they've actually, in the last 3 years that I've been there, they've gone through more managers than Bill Cosby's done women. I wish I was kidding. You were doing an assassination joke, right? Yeah. I was on Facebook and noticed somebody had posted a picture of Barack Obama, and they were saying, oh, look what 8 years of lying does to you. And look at how weathered his face looks and stuff like that. And I'm not saying I'm for or against Obama, but everybody at the end of their terms looks horrible. just not as bad as Kennedy and Lincoln did. I know, thank you. Hey, you know, I do what I can. Let me bring up the next comic. Really good friend of mine, Mr. Red Castillo.
Give it up one more time for Will Hodges.
Give it up for yourselves for supporting live comedy. And again for yourselves for not calling me into the police as a threat. So on my way here on the highway, there's nothing like having people right alongside you doing double takes nonstop as they're merging lanes. Just looking at you and you're just like, hi, how are you? I'm going to go tell jokes. And that's what it looked like when I got here. I barely noticed anyone in costume outside of Brent and the now defunct Triple H back there. Because I was like, man, how horrifying would it be if I just showed up and all this face paint shit just stood here? I was like, okay, who wants to laugh? No, seriously, we're gonna laugh. Oh god, I can see you guys spotting the cane, probably wondering what it's about. If you're not spotting the makeup first. The reason why I had the cane is because I had 8 surgeries all in my spine. The very first surgery I had was outpatient surgery. If you don't know what that is, it's basically where after it's over, you wake up and the bill pinned to you in your car. Oh, okay, I heard yes rather than laughter. That means we're on board. Okay, cool. So you've had outpatient, then I take it. Yeah, it sucked, didn't it? About my 3rd surgery, I woke up in this nice private room in the hospital. There's a blonde nurse standing in my bed. She just looks absolutely freaked the fuck out. And she goes, what are you doing here? And I said, you have the chart. She goes, no. Do you know where you're at in the hospital? I said, no, fill me in. She gets real serious, leans in, and she goes, this is where people come to die. And then she says, this is hospice. Yeah, in that fucking order. So I start freaking out, checking my toes for tags. There's no tags, but there was a catheter there that I didn't know about previously. I was asleep when they put it in. Yeah, you get ahead of me. But I was awake when they took it out. I was pissed to say the least. I felt it was a compliment, though, that it took 2 nurses to do it. I love how everybody's been up here talking about Cosby and assassinations. I mean, Bill Cosby, like, for those of you who aren't comedians, you probably had a ton of time trying to wrap your mind around it. But the whole way that the Cosby thing can be summed up, it's a reverse O.J. Simpson situation. Black people don't want to believe anything about Bill Cosby anymore, but there's white people still hanging in going, no, he's a good man. Those 30, nearly 40 women can't be right. I know this set's going so well, isn't it? From Bill Cosby to assassinations. Reminds me, though, that like this set, in the words of a very great actor, I'm going to give it my best shot. I believe that was John Wilkes Booth. Keeping with the theme of assassinations, since this seems to be such a great hot topic right now, and I look like I fell out of one. Yeah, it helps when you make shit up on the spot, doesn't it? I didn't date the smartest women. I dated a woman once who, she told me she wanted to go on vacation somewhere nice, like a beach, she said. She wanted to shoot pictures. Those were her words. So I said, okay, what beach? She got real serious and thought about it for a second. She goes, how about the grassy knoll? Yeah, you're still staying with me, I appreciate that. For those of you not keeping up with her and I and the rest of the home game, the grassy knoll is damn sure on a beach, and it is also where Kennedy was supposedly shot from. So being a comedian, I couldn't help it, I played it up. I started fucking with her. I was like, that's cool. I heard they shot something there. It wasn't Kodak, but it did start with a K. You can hire 2 shooters, photographers, sorry. You can take one back and to the left. And all from what I heard, it was a pretty mind-blowing experience. Love when that one takes a second. But now I was telling you about my surgeries and all on my back and things like that.
I ended up with a very rare disease. It's called reflex sympathetic dystrophy type 2. If you don't know what it is, it just keeps you in pain 24/7. And so you think, you know, how with every good disease you get your one celebrity representative, like it used to be Lance Armstrong for cancer, up until they wanted the one testicle back for retribution. Take a guess at who my one celebrity rep is. Paula Abdul. Yeah, everyone always laughs at that. I don't even need the fucking punchline. Makes sense though, because with a disease like this, you end up taking 2 steps forward and 2 back. Oh, thank fucking Christ that works. No, because Jerry Goebel, another one of our comedians, he and I were in Lima, Ohio the other night, for a bunch of Hilljack College kids in boots. There's NASCAR memorabilia and like car parts on the walls advertising Budweiser, but you can't drink in there. Yeah, it was fucking great. Doing every single joke you can think of, because we were told it was a fucking Back to the Future party. They had no idea what we were talking about. They're mainly too busy staring at the screens that were left on because they wanted to find out how NCIS ended. Welcome to comedy. Because doing comedy takes you some weird places and you end up in situations you wouldn't expect. Like I was in Fort Jennings, Ohio, and I was doing some stand-up a few minutes in front of about 400 Lions Club members and an American Legion. Let me rephrase that. About 150 of them were actually fucking listening. And their president of the Lions Club got to the Lions Club suit right after he got good and shit-faced. So he wanders up to the front of the stage in a lion costume, big foam head on it, paws. The tail got ripped off in a drunken conga line earlier in the night. But he gets up there and he sits on the edge of the stage. And he acts like he's falling asleep with his paws in his giant head. And then like I'm boring him, he's waving at me and shit. Now, for those of you who don't understand stand-up, it's one thing to have someone yell out, "You suck." It takes it to a new fucking level when all they do is silently gesture at you. I need to distract myself with good, crazy stories and facts. One of my favorites is the fact that 80% of Australia's koala bear population has chlamydia. Yeah, busy little bears, aren't they? Yeah. I just wish we had a Steve Irwin Crocodile Hunter PSA before he died. I would have loved to have seen that on Animal Planet. This is going to look even more fucked up while I'm like this, doing this, but I just wanted to tune in as a kid and see, good day, I'm Steve Irwin, and I'm here today to tell you about koala chlamydia. I bet you're all probably wondering just how dangerous is koala chlamydia. Well, if we look at this chart here, it ranks a solid 94. Now with near levels of danger, danger, danger. And join me next week on my 2-pack special. What can you do for a roo in didgeridoo's and didgeridon'ts? Join me in 2 weeks when I go diving with stingrays. It's going to be great. Because you know I hold a special place for them right here in my heart. I'll fucking take it. I don't care. I mean, if the makeup and get-up is not enough of desperation, I don't know what is. You guys were talking about your brother. Somebody was talking about having brothers or something like that up here, I heard, or siblings of some kind. Brett, you were talking about your brother. My brother, he doesn't have the health issues yours does, but my brother is easily the most gullible person on the planet, and one of the just dumbest people I've met when he comes to tell me. He goes, I told him I came back from seeing a movie once. He goes, what movie did you see? I said, Passion of the Christ. And I started, he goes, really? How was it? And I started telling him how intense it was. He goes, no, don't spoil it for me. No spoilers. My next words were, you mean the Bible? To which he said, yeah, don't ruin it. I said, it's already been ruined for you. Every single fucking time we go to church, we hear the story. I followed that up and I told him, I was like, man, if you were an animal, you'd be a gullible. His next words, and I quote, were, is that a real animal? Yeah. Tells you the caliber of people I'm dealing with. But I'll do these last two and get out of here. Because you know how when you die, kind of like I've been doing up here, they have different ways they can memorialize you. They can either take like your ashes, bury you in an urn, all that, bury you in a casket. They got some new ones though that I really, really liked. Like for instance, one of my favorites is the fact that maker of the Frisbee, they took his remains and they turned him into a Frisbee. Yeah, it's good to know the kids can still play with Grandpa. Yep, just right after you wrestle him away from the dog. Another one I really liked was maker of the Pringles can. After he died, they took his ashes and they buried him in a Pringles can. That is proof that once you pop, the fun does indeed have to stop at some point. My all-time favorite, though, is the fact that they can take all the carbon that's in your body, they can turn you into a diamond, and they can give you to a relative as jewelry. Oh, you're saying, man, you like know my set front to back, apparently. Like, who did you get? Was it like an uncle or an aunt? No, didn't know. You're just like dead people diamonds. Let's do it. Yeah. But I want to drive home tonight, and I want to hear that Shane Company commercial on the radio. I want to drive home and I want to hear, there's a young man who wants to give his girlfriend an engagement ring. He's short on cash, but Grandma's circling the drain. Introducing the Grandma Cut Diamond from the Shane Company. TV ads are going to change too. Gentlemen, you know the ones where you see the ladies run to her girlfriends? He went to Jared? No, that fucking is Jared. Thank you, Rick Castile. That's my time. Thank you for supporting live comedy. Not sure what we're doing here. Stalling for time, stalling for time.
No stalling for time. Glad to see you come back off of the boys there, Rage.
Yeah. My guy at the quad just quit. All right, thanks for coming out, everybody. If you decide you want to do this, Mike, Mr. Smartass, yeah, you want to come up here and do this, just contact me. Other than that, you guys have a good weekend. Have a good night.
Do